Hey, this is Mr. W. Welcome to episode 2 of Thinking Biologically, Water and Hydrogen Bonding. This show is called Thinking Biologically, and a key aspect of biological thinking is being able to envision the molecules that make up living things. We're going to start that this week by learning about water, the substance that provides the chemical context for life. If the liquid in this graduated cylinder represented my mass, then this amount, about 60% of it, would be water. The cytoplasm, which is everything within the membrane of the cell, is about 80% water. Water is composed of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Here's the molecular formula, the structural formula, and a space-filling model. The atoms in water are bonded together by covalent bonds, but the electron sharing is unequal, and the result is that a water molecule has a partial negative charge here by the oxygen atom and partial positive charges here by the hydrogen atoms. In your textbook and in lecture, you'll see these partial charges represented by these symbols. They're called delta positive and delta negative charges. Because the different regions of a water molecule have different charges, water is said to be polar, just like the north and south poles of a magnet make us call a magnet polar. And in the same way as the north pole of a magnet will attract the south pole of another magnet, the partially positive region of one water molecule will attract the partially negative region of another water molecule. That makes water on a molecular level a sticky molecule. The bonds between water molecules are called hydrogen bonds, and they're represented by these dotted lines. They're not very strong and they don't last for very long, but they explain so much. Why is water forming a bead on this penny? The water molecules are forming hydrogen bonds with one another. Imagine we were in outer space. Those molecules would bond with one another and they would form a sphere. But here on Earth, gravity is pulling those molecules down. The bead is the shape where those hydrogen bonds are at equilibrium with the force of gravity. If we use a liquid like rubbing alcohol that's much less polar, you can see that the liquid just flattens out because there's much less hydrogen bonding. How does this paper clip, which is much denser than water, float on the water's surface? Hydrogen bonds are also behind what's called surface tension. Imagine a net of water molecules on the surface of the water in this container. The paper clip is resting on the net. Why does it take so much energy to boil water? To get water to vaporize, you have to break hydrogen bonds, and it takes a lot of energy to get the water molecules to move fast enough to break away from the water molecules that are in the pan. There are many other examples, and I have 2 related tutorials and videos at sciencemusicvideos.com. But first, check this out. These structural formulas show a part of DNA. See the dotted lines? What kind of bonds are those? They're hydrogen bonds. Unequal electron sharing between the nitrogen and the hydrogen here gives these areas a partial positive charge. Here, there's a partial negative charge. Hydrogen bonds hold DNA together. 2 takeaways. First, hydrogen bonds don't have to directly involve water. Second, hydrogen bonds are at the very core of biology. At sciencemusicvideos.com, I have 2 separate tutorials, each with additional video content, that will help you learn what you need to know about water and hydrogen bonding. There's a card above and there's a link in the description below. But before you go, one last piece of advice. If you don't feel that you can explain the difference between an ionic bond and a covalent bond, or if you're not sure what a structural formula is telling you, then I suggest that you complete my entire series of tutorials about basic chemistry. It won't take you very long, and it'll give you the foundation that you need to understand water and all the other molecules and chemical processes that you'll meet in this course, and there are going to be a lot of them. So, between this week and next week, use the materials at sciencemusicvideos.com to learn about the chemistry and properties of water. And, if you need to, use my tutorials about basic chemistry. So I'll see you over at sciencemusicvideos.com, and I'll see you right here next week for another episode of Thinking Biologically. Thanks so much.